What's up, guys? Dylon here. And today we're going to ask the question or answer the question, will using AI content hurt my business? Like, comment, share, subscribe below, and let's get into the video. So I recently had someone reach out and they were like, hey, this website that you built has a lot of AI content. You might want to rewrite that page. And it's an unsolicited advice and opinion, but you get those on the internet, so you get used to dealing with it. And it was the first person to really comment on that on this page, and the page has been used for a little bit of time, and I thought it was interesting. The first thing of note is there's always gonna be someone to have some sort of problem or issue or just, like, perspective that you didn't quite think about or just out there, and they have the need to express it. They have the need to tell you about it, right? There's people like that. You probably know some in your own life that they just can't hold their tongue. They think of something, they have to say it, regardless of how ridiculous or informed that opinion is. A lot of times they're just trying to be helpful, but it can be annoying sometimes. But that just happens, especially on the internet. There's always someone that says something. There's always someone that knows more than you. And I think the takeaway from that is don't let those people bother you. Right? The majority of people aren't going to see things that way. The majority of your customers aren't going to see things that way. Don't worry about those people. Those people are particular people. Particular people are hard to please. If you spend your time trying to sell to particular people, you're going to have a rough time because particular people, right, they always can find something wrong. They always, because that's what they look for. That's what they've trained their eye and their mind to look for. Okay. So it's not even like you can even match all their particularities. They're still going to find something they don't like or that isn't satisfying because that's what they do. Right? That's what they do. So don't worry too much about those people. But you can always take their insights with a grain. You can always like take them and listen to them because you might learn some things. I think you should. And so keep that in mind when it comes to content online, stuff like that for the internet. So that was the first thing, is that you have particular people that are going to comment on things. The second thing is about the AI content, the content generation, and the person not really knowing what they're talking about as it pertains to the purpose of the site. So, the question is, will AI content hurt my business if I use it? And the answer is yes and no. It depends on how you use it and what you use it for. In this particular case, the site and the landing page was designed to get up quickly. It was a first run, first edition. There was minimal budget behind that site by the owners of the site, and they just want to get something up that's functional, that works, that looks good, and is ready to go for direct traffic. And they weren't even going to send a big campaign to it, just some direct traffic. They wanted to be able to go to that page. It wasn't a big multi-million dollar or thousands of dollar campaign or anything like that. They were just going to send some free direct traffic that they had access to that landing page and just see how it works. So it wasn't a big fancy marketing campaign or anything like that. And in that case, the question of will AI hurt my business or not, you need to think about it like this. What's more important? You get the page up, it looks good, people can read it. The average person can't tell the difference between what's AI and what's not AI. That's just the reality. Like, you need a sophisticated AI checker tool on your browser or whatnot. And most of your consumers, most of your customers, they don't care. Can they read it? Does it sound good? Does it give them the information that they need? That's all they really care about. Does it solve their problem? And can they buy, right? Can they buy or take action? And in this case, it was just a direct traffic page. And so it didn't matter if like it's penalized by Google or any of the search engines or stuff like that, because I'm not trying to get search traffic. It's not trying to become an SEO site that's ranking for certain keywords. It's not trying to appeal to the different web crawlers and stuff like that. All it's designed to do is load when someone clicks on the link to the page from the direct source, allow them to read it, and have an easy access for them to take the next step to buy. And so does AI hurt the business in that case? Maybe there's some people that have AI checkers and stuff like that. Again, particular people, right? Extremes that are going to see that and going to be turned off by that. And in the long term, that can be factored in and be like, hey, how do we get more conversions? How do we up our conversion rate and increase it by a few percentage points here and there? Right? What type of tweaks and stuff can we make to the page? Or do we even need to? Right? Is the page performing adequately? So why would we even need it to change anything? And in this case, the page was performing adequately. Of all the people that viewed the page, I think we had, and it wasn't even like a sophisticated sales page. It was super simple, right? I think we had a 10%. Let me see if I can look up the conversion rate on the page. Just give me 1 second. So over the entire course of this page and campaign, we have almost a 9% cart conversion rate. Okay. So with very limited promotion, copies, anything around it, that's pretty darn good. And sure, it could increase. Sure, we could do more for this, but we don't need to for this particular situation, this particular product. It's a physical product. So once we sell out, and I think we're 70 to 80% sold out in just 2 days for this page. And so I'm giving you a little background. I'm not going to tell you exactly what the page is or anything like that, but just to keep this in perspective, the product's selling, it's working, sales are great. We're going to sell out of the product, and we probably wish we had more product. If this was a digital product, something that you don't have any inventory or stuff like that, it's a little different situation. Or if we were spending money on ads, driving traffic to this page, we want to maximize our return on our ad spend, it's a different situation. But in this situation, traffic's free. People are going to the page. They're buying the product in droves, and we're almost out. So we don't need to do anything. We don't need to do any sort of extra fancy marketing to spruce up this page. And in this case, the AI actually helped the business because it was able to get the page up and running fast rather than taking weeks or months of development time or spending thousands of dollars to get it done just right, hiring copywriters, checking back and forth, all this kind of stuff. The AI allowed the page to be created like that and put in front of customers, and the page converts. That's a win, right? And when the question is asked is, will AI impact my business or hurt my business if I use it? The content, it's like, it depends on what you're using it for. And the big thing is like, what is your end goal? Look, if you're looking to maximize your site's traffic via SEO and Google authority rankings and all that kind of stuff, it's probably not going to be the best thing if you only use AI generated content on your site without tweaking, paraphrasing, updating, and things like that, because they have sophisticated crawlers and tools to monitor sites for that type of content. And because they have those in place and because they have those filters, you have to understand that, and you have to play in accordance of their rules. But if you are trying to put an offer out in front of an audience, you could literally do a split test and say, let's use the same page, but let's use copy generated by AI and let's use copy generated by a human copywriter, and let's see which one performs better. Okay. And is less expensive and can get the thing done faster. Right. And you could run that test, and maybe people have, and see which copy works better. And the copy that's going to work the best, right, just without even having to run the test, is the copy that's available on the page. Right? That's one of the things that the marketers and entrepreneurs and people online, they fail to see and they fail to do, and because they want to be perfectionists, they want it to be perfect, they want it to be just right, and so they take days, weeks, months, even years trying to perfect something instead of putting something out there, putting an offer out there, putting it in front of an audience, and seeing if they get results, and then tweaking and monitoring and improving it over time. People want to have this thing perfect from the beginning, and they're like, then they'll spend a bunch of money, a bunch of time trying to get it perfect, and then they put it out there, and it doesn't get results. And now they're a month, 2 months in of creating this perfect thing, and they're like, why don't I get results? And they start worrying because they spent all this money on this thing. But if you could just get something out quick that's effective and start testing and then improving and optimizing over time, that's how you win. Versus spending all your time trying to make the perfect creation and then it not be the right thing. So the AI is going to win out hands down for someone who's struggling to figure out what types of copy to write, the structure of their headlines, all that kind of stuff. It's good to know those things. It's good to have experience and practice so you can identify what things generally sound good, what things generally sound bad. And so you can guide the AI content creation, things like using OpenAI, using ChatGPT, that kind of stuff, and guide it to create the structures and the verbiage and the words and stuff that generally sells well. You're going to do a lot better. And I call these people AI pilots. They're able to use the AI tools to streamline their workflow, allow them to get more done in less time, a lot more effectively, right? That's going to be much more beneficial, and you're going to be faster, you're going to produce more, you're going to get better results, especially if you can take your own ego and emotion out of some of these things. And you can say, I don't have to come up with the perfect copy for this. I can just ask the AI, it's going to come up with something. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to just ask the market. We're going to put the offer, put the copy in front of my target prospects. And if they respond positively to it in a sufficient manner, it works. And if they don't, we'll adjust. And that's the best thing to do. And so will it hurt your business? No, I don't think it's going to hurt your business. I think like if you have a particular type of business, if you don't understand the nuances of that business, it can hurt you because you're just using a very broad brush to try and get results and stuff like that. But if you have a business that you want to get going, it's much better to get something up than nothing. And I think that's the real lesson here is something up in front of your prospects that can sell a product is better than nothing, hands down. And if it works, don't mess with it if it works. This is something that I learned from Frank Kern in marketing is that, look, a lot of times people try to complicate things. They try to add more variables, add new things, add new designs, and they go away from what works. And one of the simplest things, and this was a conversation Frank had with one of his clients, it's in a story he tells. He's like, I had this client that came to me. He said, yeah, I sent this email, I got a bunch of sales, and I want to find a way to get more sales. And Frank's, maybe we should just send another email like that and see if we get more sales. And so people always try to overlook what's worked because they want to move on to the next thing. And one more story before I conclude this video. I was listening to Alex Hormozy talk about in a TikTok short about his monthly haircut with the barber. And the barber's like, yeah, I want to make more revenue, so I want to add all these extra services like this vintage clothes client line and all this stuff to my barbershop to make more money. And Alex was like, how do you make your money now? And he's like, 50% of the time I spend working, and that's how I make half my money. And the other half of the time I rent my chairs at my barbershop, and that's how I make the other half of my money. And Alex is basically, instead of adding all these extra things that you don't know if they're going to work, why don't we take what works? And you could just open up another barbershop and spend your time managing both barbershops. And if you make 50% of your revenue for renting chairs at barbershop A and 50% of your revenue managing chairs at barbershop B, now you've made all the money. You can spend, instead of working and spending all your time working in the business, you can start working on the business, and you've created this simple thing that works. You've duplicated it, and now you have two streams of revenue coming in for your business. And that's the thing and it's the idea of keep things simple, do what works. And if it works, don't change it. It's a very good lesson. And so just to conclude, will AI hurt your business? No, probably not. These tools are going to be sophisticated, but everyone's going to start using this stuff. The general consumer can't tell the difference in general. Like, they're stupid. They're not like, that's not what I'm saying. It's just, they don't care enough, right? They're not a master's in English, right? Not everyone's a grammar Nazi. Not everyone cares if you say, you're with a Y-O-U-R instead of a U-R, right? A Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Some people care. A lot of people don't. And in fact, it's been shown in copywriting that sometimes when you make purposeful, strategic spelling errors, even accidental, they actually increase the conversion rates of pages. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Are you serving your customers? Are the things you're putting out there getting the results, getting the conversions that you want or need at whatever stage of the marketing life cycle of your product or service that you're in? And if it is, that's fantastic. And if you get there using AI, that's even better. If you can get there in a faster, more efficient way, that is even better. And that's what you should be aiming for. And so I think you should try out these tools, test these things, and experiment for yourself. And if things aren't working, pivot and adjust, right? Ask the question and adjust. So anyways, that's it for this video. I think AI is an amazing thing. I think it's an amazing resource and tool for the entrepreneur to get things done more quickly and effectively in no time at all. And I think if you don't learn these tools and leverage these resources, someone else will get that thing done for less because they're more efficient and they're leveraging the power of these AI tools that have a tremendous amount of knowledge and expertise. So anyway, that's it for this video. If you want to learn more about the AI tools and resources that I use to build my business, check the link below. There's a link in the description with free AI tools and resources. And I'm going to be putting on an AI training on different aspects of these tools and how to use them and things that are my favorites. So definitely get on that list, get the tools, and start using them today. And that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.